Hey, it's Aaliyah. So I'm back with another video like 5, 6 months later. I don't even know. I recorded like 3 videos and never posted them because I just didn't feel like editing them. So that's how I've been doing. But actually, I've been doing great because I just got a new job. I'm finally going to be working with survivors of human trafficking and also survivors of domestic abuse. Uh, People who abuse substances because I'm going to be working at a women's shelter and these women can bring their children. I'm sorry, I need to stop moving. Okay. And these women can bring their children and so I'm not going to be a nanny for those 4 sweet beautiful children anymore, and that makes me so upset. I have 3 days left there. I'm sorry. I have 3 days left there and I'm so sad. But I'm so excited and also very nervous, very anxious to start this new job, but like I know I can do it. But anyway, so today I wanted to do a video actually about human trafficking because when I make videos about other things, I think the reason I just don't feel like editing them is just because I don't care about them. They're just kind of boring and dumb and not about like something important. So today I'm going to be talking about who is a trafficker. Nah. Not trafficker. Who is a John? Oh, not John the Apostle. Okay. Human trafficking exists because there are buyers. Yep. Maybe I can read this article to you. So, this is on factsandtrends.net. And this article is called Human Trafficking Exists Because More People Are Buying Sex Than You Realize. This is very true. Written by Aaron Earls in 2019. Okay, so it says, oh wait, why does this say by somebody else? It also says by Raleigh Sadler. So who knows? Okay. So they surveyed 4,851 men in a representative sample of American households from 2001 to 2010. The General Social Survey asked interviewees 2 important questions about human trafficking. All right. First, each person was asked if they had ever purchased sex within their lifetime. If the answer was yes, then they were asked if they had purchased sex within the last year. Okay, so the first question was, have they ever purchased sex in their lifetime? The answer is approximately 13.9% of men between the ages of 18 and 75 reported that they had purchased sex in their lifetime, while 1% of those 13.9% reported buying sex within the last year. So the only thing I want to say about this is that this sample group of people was supposed to be representative of American households from 2001 to 2010, and I think American households are probably a lot different now. And this problem has only been growing, so these numbers would be bigger if it was based on like 2010 to 2020. So I'm just going to do 4,851, which was the number of people, and approximately 13.9% of men between the ages of 18 and 75 reported they had purchased sex in their lifetime. Okay, so that is 674 people. I'm sorry, I have glitter on me. I'm a nanny, okay? I'm also sorry my camera has terrible quality. So 674 people out of that group had purchased sex. And then 1% of those reported buying sex within the last year. So we will do 674 times 1%. I probably didn't need to do that. Oh God, okay. I haven't done math in years. So that is 6 people had reported buying it within the last year. Those could be people that you know. And they've done it that recently. And so customers, they don't just go one time, they go multiple times. So that means the need for girls is more because people keep going and then more people want it. Okay. So it says, let's pause for a moment. Even if we assume that all of those interviewed were being honest, though 1% seems relatively small, this percentage still represents a significant number. Yeah, because this was only 4,000, approximately 5,000 people. And obviously the world is millions, so that's obvious. This is a lot of people who have admitted to buying sex recently. This is not something that we can brush under the rug. Obviously not. And like I said, if this was based on 2010 to 2020, the numbers would be even bigger because and there's no other word for it than industry. The sex trafficking industry has only grown and has only made more and more money every year. And the number we're talking about is billions. It makes billions every year. Okay, it says, in May 2016, agents of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation posed online as underage girls, leading investigators to the arrest of 32 people, 2 of whom were ministers. So this is something I really want people to understand. It does not matter what your job is. You are still a person apart from that job. You can be a cop, you can be a minister, you could be a firefighter, you could be in the military. It could be anybody. It could be your father, it could be your brother, it could be your grandfather, it could be your uncle. Like, you don't want to believe this, and I would never want to believe this either. I love my brothers so much, you know what I mean? I could never believe that they would do this. But if somebody was saying that this had happened to them and it had been my brother, I would listen to them because you never know. I know from personal experience growing up, I had somebody in my life a lot who was very manipulative, where I saw one side of them, you know, and then other people that knew them thought this was the nicest person in the world. Like, literally, they thought, no way, this person is so nice. This person was abusive, so there are really manipulative people, and that's why it could be somebody close to you and you don't know, because they're just that good at being manipulative. The pastor and the pastor in training responded to an ad placed on a website by what they thought was a 15-year-old girl. Operation Someone Like Me took its name from the words of an 18-year-old who had been trafficked 3 years prior. In the New York Times article, 2 Tennessee ministers are among 30 arrested in prostitution sting. Christine Hauser explains how law enforcement took their cues from the survivor. For an hour, we talked with her in minute detail, how they end up agreeing to meet for the slaying. Agent Quinn said. At the end of the training conference call, the agents thanked her. After a silence, according to the agent, she said, "No, thank you. You don't know what it means to someone like me that the TBI is willing to go out and rescue these girls." As a result of the sting, the two men were arrested on felony trafficking charges. This just goes to show that just as anyone can be a trafficker, anyone can be a sex buyer. This is not restricted to a certain ethnic or religious background. Sex buyers can include those with social status and financial means, as well as those without. So, sex buyers can include those with social status and financial means, as well as those without. In some places, it costs less to buy a girl. In some places, it costs a lot more. And like we all know, Jeffrey Epstein, that obviously probably costs a lot. Alright, normally in order to prove in a federal court of law that a case is sex trafficking, one would have to show that either force, fraud, or coercion were used to make the person complicit in the act. But if someone is under the age of 18 and sold for sex, they are automatically considered victims of human trafficking. That is a good thing. Basically, anytime someone who is underage is being prostituted, whether it is online or on the street, the person is trafficked. This is 100% true. I do think, I know not all states have the same laws about this kind of thing though. So it depends on your state what the laws are about the ages, about if they could be charged with a crime for being prostituted, because I'm pretty sure that still happens sometimes. For many of us, it's easy to focus on sex traffickers as those in prostitution. But if we were honest with ourselves, we'd have to admit that there is a part of us that wants to avoid thinking about the sex buyer. And you totally do, because you think this is a sick person. They should know that this girl doesn't want to be there. They know that this girl is underage, obviously, because shockingly, I keep hearing lower and lower numbers. I think when I first started learning about sex trafficking, the number was usually 14, then it dropped to 12, and now I'm starting to hear that it's around the ages of 11 to 14 is when people start being trafficked. So these numbers are really low. It's obvious to tell that these girls are underage. And all these people buying sex know that these girls are being hurt. So many people could notify the police, could notify some authority, could try and help save these girls, but instead they want to buy sex and they don't want to be... Are you kidding me right now? And they don't want to be held accountable for it. They don't want to get in trouble. They just want to get what feels good and then go back to their lives that maybe they don't like that much. Maybe their marriage isn't going that well. Maybe they just want something a little exciting in their life. Maybe they have a fetish. Maybe they're a pedophile. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I can say that word on YouTube. So, no, I think I can. Okay. We don't think that anyone that we know would ever think to buy sex, but I have found that it is far more common than you know. Okay, so I think Riley Sadler is the one that posted this. Riley. So that's the end of the article. So I just really want to reiterate that a sex buyer can be absolutely anyone. And it hurts to think that, and nobody wants to believe that somebody that's supposed to protect us, like a police officer, would buy somebody for sex. I've personally read books where police officers, they don't have to pay to have sex with these girls, so why wouldn't they do it? You know what I mean? If they really wanted to, because then they just don't turn them in. They don't turn the traffickers in, so the traffickers are protected by law enforcement, and the police officers get to have sex for free with these girls that are usually underage. So, and that's not in all cases at all, but it does happen, and it's really sad. It's not fun to think about. It's really actually heartbreaking to think about, because then you think, if a girl is lucky enough to run away and get away from her trafficker and she runs to the police station, well, where's she gonna go? They take her right back. You know what I mean? And that's happened before. I've read books where that has happened. There's so much information out there. And I think I get really serious when I'm talking about this. But the thing is, it is really serious. Human trafficking is the biggest crisis facing the entire world right now, because it involves millions of victims. I think the latest number I've seen is somewhere in the 40 millions. It has like 42 million victims right now. Men, women, children, anybody can be a victim. I know in the Philippines, a lot of men, young boys, they start selling themselves 13, 14 years old because their family doesn't have money. And guys will pay for massages from a young boy. And then it turns into more, and then it turns into more. So that's the coercion. But we don't want to think about it. But it is important to spend time thinking about these girls who think they're forgotten. And what I was originally on before I flipped over to this article is PolarisProject.org. And so I just want to say that right now they're doing a match campaign. It says World Day Against Trafficking in Persons match campaign. Donate today and your gift will be tripled up to $100,000 now through July 30th. So please, if you have money right now, I know some people haven't been working because of COVID, so don't ever feel bad just because you don't have money to donate. Sending good thoughts, good vibes, praying for these girls is always a great thing to do, and then giving money when you can is awesome as well. So you just go to the PolarisProject.org and you can click match my gift and you can donate. So I think I'll be donating. I hope you donate. I think I have the money to donate right now, so that's awesome. Thank you, God. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.